I'm not gonna lie, bro. We got cooked, dog, bro. That list, bro. I don't even remember what I played. Okay, guys, we got 2 more packs, and last week's opening didn't really give us much to do with, but I'm really excited about the direction of our deck purely because we were able to take some games off of Kaisa, and that's what like just changes from like the starter deck and like philosophy. So we're really like getting into like our deck building flow and stuff like that. And then we were also able to trade actually one of our older cards for a 3rd copy of Vi, and last week at the locals we were able to pull off the ride to win combo at least like twice, whatever. There were like 5 rounds, I think like in 3 rounds or whatever we were able to pull it off. So that ride to win combo definitely is our win condition, and the 3rd copy of Vi will help a lot. But now we're just like, we just want other things to help bolster the deck. Maybe some like cards like Darius or Draven, some more aggressive things to help push us over the edge in the mid game, or some more discard synergies. I don't know, we're just looking for like good cards to put into the deck, right? I don't know what we're looking for really, but like whatever we get is what we get, and maybe we get like a Jinx signature just so we make a Death Rocket. But that's enough preamble. Let you know, open these packs and pray we get something. All right, starting off with a Sky Splitter. I don't think that's necessarily playable in our deck, but could be trade fodder. Another Jeweled Colossus on guard. Oh, a Ride the Wind. We already have our play set, but if other people are looking for this is good like trade fodder. Hidden Blade, a really good card in yellow as well. First Mate. Let's see what else. Gust. I think like everyone has like a play set, but once again, staple, really good trade fodder. I think this is a Teemo card, Mushroom Pouch. The beginning phase controller card of the battlefield, draw 1. Yeah, this is gear, so it's like you get a whole bunch of value, and it's an uncommon too. Mountain Drake, another vanilla for the orange decks. What is this? Hollowed Tomb. This is like my first time seeing this battlefield. If you hold here, you may return your chosen champion from the trash to the champion zone if empty. Oh, that's very interesting. So like a way to recur like the resource. This is actually kind of interesting. I might like play this instead of Reaver's Row, because that means I get to like just tempo out my Jinx, let her die, and then put my Jinx back in my champion zone. I might try experimenting with this in some testing, and then if it works out well, I'll like include it in main. So we'll see. Very interesting stage. And this is what, like the foil on guard upgrade. Okay. Green players will definitely probably want to pick this up for me, so we'll see. Hopefully get it off, get a good trade for it. Ooh, Teemo rare. Interesting. So, okay, so this is like the promo, right? Some nice foiling. So yeah, this is like the promo that they gave out for like the release event, but it's like a foil. I think that might be it for like this first pack. Oh, I lied. Taric Protector, another rare. Ooh, okay, so what is this? Champion unit, Taric, shield +1, and then tank. Other units here have shield. Okay, so this gives everything like +1 might on defense. Yeah, this is like the green to hold strategy. You know, green does stuff. There's no Taric like legend yet, so this guy will just have to like hard draw him. And I think that's it for this pack. Oh, and again in the Calm Rune, and then the rules. Yeah, so first pack, interesting additions. I think the most exciting thing for me personally was the Hollowed Tomb. But everything else, you know, may just be good trade bait. Some good trade fodder. All right, so let's open up the second pack, see what we get. I don't know. We're hoping for like some good trades, man, or just some really sick pulls in general, right? All right, so now we're starting off with Consult the Past. Okay. Stalwart Poro, another Poro. We love our Poros. Nox is Hopeful. I think a friend of mine may need some of these, or I like may get an extra copy for like my Kaisa deck on the side, you know. Forge the Future. I see people run this card in like Victor and stuff like that, but doesn't, I don't know, a random yellow decks. It doesn't really do much for me. I don't think so. I don't know. Pit Rookie. Okay. Undercover Agent. This is in the Jinx starter deck, but this completes our playset if we wanted to get on this card. Cruel Patron. What else we got? Vile Mausolera. It's like units here can't return to base. Or we play this, right? Units, like we play this, and it's like the opposite of Reaver's Row, where it's just like if you commit a unit here, you know you're gonna have to do combat with me. I don't think the units in our deck are like too menacing to like really make use of this, but maybe it might be enough. and it just says can't move at all. So I don't know if this is just like only character moves or maybe like spell moves or whatever like that. But I think this would be like once you're here, you're stuck, and that's kind of interesting. So yeah, the battlefields, I'm actually really lacking in battlefields, and the battlefields we've pulled today might be like pretty game changing. So we'll just see. Move on to the foils. Now we got a foil, or is this an uncommon? Is this a foil? I think it's just an uncommon. So we got an uncommon face breaker. Yeah, it's not even a foil. Hidden, and then action stun a friendly unit and an enemy unit at the same battlefield. Okay, so this just like stops units from trading. When units don't trade out in the showdown, they just both return to base. Okay. Now, ooh, Sundisk. Okay, now we got something here. This card I think is really good in Jinx because this just gives anything accelerate. Like the next unit, right? I know it's only once, but like this is low-key what I'm looking for. Like it helps me become really aggressive and like get some stuff out without paying like the accelerate costs. So this is sort of like Kai'Sa's like leader ability, where she can like pay for spells without you know, recycling the rune. And now I can just like accelerate units with this gear, and I think that's pretty nutty. So like being able to accelerate like my Vi or like my Jinx or what have you, just in case I don't have ride to win, but just being able to get these units out and just like have them like impact immediately, I think it will be really strong. So if we also get some like this card just does so much for the deck, because it's like now we can think about putting in some of those slower cards, like the more mid-range units or whatever, and it's like it's insane, right? Like imagine we play this on 2, or like we play this, like imagine we go first, we play this first, and then like next turn we have like 2-drop Noxian Hopeful. Like we like, bro, like we played a 2-drop, we tapped this, we played a Noxian Hopeful, now the Noxian Hopeful's like swinging in, and like this helps like mitigate some of that tempo loss, 1 from going second, and then 2 from like not playing a unit on the first turn. I'm gushing about this card, but like I have to test it, I have to figure out the lines. I might int a little bit with the lines, but as you guys can see by the yap, I'm really excited by pulling this card. Really happy that we pulled this card. And then we got a Teemo Swift Scout Legend. You may pay 1 rune to hide a card with hidden instead of recycling a rune, and then you rest 1 rune and exhaust this Teemo. Put a Teemo unit you own into your hand from your champion zone or the board. Okay, so this like recurs resources and then like hides them again too. A lot of people play Teemo. Really like this. They really like this legend. I haven't put it together yet, but Teemo was like the first character I played. The first character I got a skin for in league, so he always has a place in my heart. Just happy to see him here. All right, what else we got? Second rare. Ooh, we got Sabotage. Oh, isn't this card like some amount of money? Choose an opponent, they reveal their hand, choose a non-unit card from it, and recycle that card. Yeah, so this is just like hand disruption. It's a rare, right? So you know it probably will get picked up by the opponent by some good trades. I think last card is like a token or a rune or whatever. Oh, an epic Leona. Is this like an alt? I think this might be an alt. This is a green Leona. Okay, Zealot. So this is like the other Leona. I know that they play like the 4-drop. Oh my goodness, this card is beautiful. Okay, Leona, Zealot. If your opponent's score is within 3 points of victory, I enter ready. Stunned enemy units here have -8 might, so a minimum of 1. Wow. Hey yo, this pack was kind of goated. Like we got the Sundisk, a Sabotage, a Teemo rare, and then like this crazy foil epic Leona. My goodness, these cards are beautiful, bro. Wow. And then Fury rune, and then the rules. So yeah, wow, the pulls today were kind of nutty, honestly. I'm not mad at them at all. Let's go ahead and separate them. So we got like some, we actually got a lot of stuff. All right, and here you can see like I think some of like the better pulls. So like some of the foils are just like cards that I'm thinking about including. Really happy about the Sundisk. We pulled an epic, it's a Leona. Yeah, really happy about the Sundisk. We pulled an epic Leona, and then like these 2 battlefields can be pretty game changing into like the right matchup. So I've been looking to replace Reaver's Row. Hopefully either Vile Maw's Lair or Hollow Tomb does something, but I'm gonna update you guys in the deck profile. Stick around. Okay, so for our deck profile, I'm just going to talk about the new general inclusions in the deck, as well as the new philosophy of this week's version of the deck, and the pulls kind of help shape this new identity. So our chosen champion, still Jinx Demolitionist, leader Jinx, of course. We have a similar champion lineup, however we did drop the Vayne and we found our third buy. So now our Ride the Wind combo should be more consistent now that we have the third buy, as well as having 3 Ride the Winds. But just 5 champions down from, I think we've always had 5 champions, but we're on 5 champions this week. Chosen champion Jinx Demolitionist with an extra 1 in the deck, and then 2 Vi. After that, let's talk about the main units that we're going to be running. So we dropped down from 3 Brazen Buccaneers to 2. We do want to have him early, but we're also going for a little bit more mid-range in the deck with him at 2. And then to help support the mid-range strategy, we have 2 copies of Undercover Agent. For those who don't know, this card is Death Nail, discard 2, then draw a do, 5 might, 5 costed, recycle 1 Chaos Rune. And I'll get to why we're running this guy later on in the deck profile. But having this taller body makes sense with what we pulled and what we also included. We're still on 3 Noxus Hopeful, the best pseudo 2-drop in the game. Being able to play this with another 2-drop on 4 is insane. After that, 1 Cemetery Attendant helps us recover / recur one of our bodies in the late game, just to give us some more value, just in case one of our key units gets removed. We're on 3 Flame Chompers, key discard piece, discard fuel. Really good body to play off of our Chemtech Enforcer. Standard 2-drop. I don't think our 2-drops have changed week by week. So yeah, we're on 9 2-drops. So Chemtech Enforcer, 2 Pouty Poro, 1 Traveling Merchant, and then 3 Legion Rearguard still. So that's the unit count. I'll post, I know I'm going a little bit fast, so I'll post like the actual deck list towards the end, or I'll like keep it up in a corner. For spells and gear, we have 2 Void Seeker, really solid removal in the deck, really strong against a lot of things. Playing this in the mid game or late game can be like help keep up your tempo and your advantage. Speaking of tempo, Fight or Flight, having this early to help empty your hand and then keep like your early position stable so you can hold like for 2 points in the early game. Really good card. Ride the Wind, one of the key pieces of the actual Ride the Wind combo, the namesake of the combo. It can also just help move units, and you can like capture a point on your opponent's turn by moving one of your units to like an empty battlefield and help protect that unit as well. So really versatile card. Don't just get pigeonholed into holding this for Vi. You have 3 copies, and the deck cycles pretty fast to be able to go through. I'm gonna save one of the newer cards for last. You've seen it if you've seen our polls section. And then we're still on 1 copy of Falling Star. Really good mass removal tool, pretty good to help get your tempo back or just to remove a key unit in the mid to late game. Only on 1 copy in the main because it gets bricky at more, I feel, and that 2 Fury recycle cost is really taxing. 2 copies of Gust, early game tempo tool, can help remove something from the opponent's board. Neat combat trick at reaction speed. Cleave, aggressive tool, aggressive strategy, you've seen that. Stack deck, consistency piece, we only own the 1 copy. Why not play it? Helps blank for almost any card in the top 3. And then the last new addition to the deck is the Sundisk. So we got this in our polls today. I was really excited to get it. For those who don't know, it's a 2 costed gear. You recycle 1 Fury Rune, and then you exhaust this Legion. The next unit you play this turn enters ready. So this like pseudo accelerates any unit that we play if it's like the 2nd card in the turn. I think it's a really strong card, and that's why we're like choosing to run like those bigger bodies like the Undercover Agent, because I see a world where like we have this, we play like a 2-drop or a 1-drop, some other card for the turn, play that Undercover Agent, rest the Sundisk, and now the Undercover Agent is attacking 5 might into something, and then we can also just like draw some additional cards, filter our hand a little bit too. So really good addition to the deck. Outside of that, we also did pull some other cards as well for our battlefields. One thing I have noticed with this deck is that I did want some more battlefields, and we pulled the Hollowed Tomb, and we're running Zon Warrens and the Arena's Greatest. These 2 you already know, but for those who don't know, the Hollowed Tomb says, when you hold here, you may return your chosen champion from your trash to your champion zone if it is empty. Meaning that if we hold on this spot and we've lost like our chosen Jinx, We get to play her out earlier and just like get a little bit of a tempo swing and make a plan that if we hold here, we get the Jinx back, put her in a champion zone. So it's another way of like recycling value, and it allows us to be a little bit more aggressive early and not too selective with our Jinx, basically doubling up on the amount of times we can use her. I'm trying this out today. I didn't get to really do much with it in testing, but hopefully it shines today in our matches. Outside of that, rune count is the same. We are on, I think, 8 Fury, 4 Chaos still. Didn't feel the need to go up to 5 Chaos because, once again, the highest recycle cost in our deck is 1 Chaos. So I didn't feel the need to go up anymore. That's it for the deck profile. I'm going to get you guys into a binder update just to, you know, show off a little bit of our pulls. Okay, so our binder did get like a little shinier. I'm not going to lie. I had a lot of fun like going through and like organizing like my foil cards and like the more expensive cards and stuff to the front. We still have the Lee Sin Origins, but from our pull, we got this Leona Zealot alt art. Still rocking the Misfortune. We put our promo Calm Room up front, the signature Last Breath, Seal of Focus, and then some of these promo Teemos from like the starter deck events and the release events, as well as Zanya Hourglass. But really cool stuff, I think. And then we have like some of our foil promos that we've gotten for the event packs, as well as some rares, some more rares here, whether they be like champions, legends, what have you. And then we go on to like the uncommons that we pulled. I think these are some of the foiled uncommons from event packs as well. What else? And then the rest is just a bunch of common and rares from their respective colors, you know. Not too much here to sneeze at. Just thought I'd do some organizing, make it easier to find some trades with. All of the shiny stuff is at the front, but if some people need some of this extra stuff that I have, you know, it'll be pretty good to offload it, as well as have some nice trades. But yeah, that's it for the binder and the deck profile. We'll get you guys into the feature match today, and then we got our locals recap. Hopefully we win out today and open some more packs. Was this a room? Is this the Poro pack? Ooh, nice. I'm playing this on my deck. Okay, so we got game one going on. I flip up Zon Warrens. My opponent flips up, I think, the Bandle Tree. Let's see. I'm gonna do my mulligan. I think my hand is like Gust. A bunch of 2-drops. I don't really have a clear view on my hand, but hey, guys, like, how's the footage, guys? Isn't this a little bit cleaner, a little better? Like, minus the glare, you can still kind of see everything. Yeah. So my opponent actually won a die roll and they get to go first. So they start off with Traveling Merchant. I'm gonna take my turn. Hopefully we have a 2-drop. Looks like we have a Poro, and then we'll pass. Disregard the energy my Pokemon disregard the energy my opponent is using. It's pretty early in the game's life cycle, and if like you didn't buy a starter deck, you know, you're forced to build this stuff from scratch. You're gonna miss some of the runes. Yeah, so they're gonna move their Traveling Merchant onto the Bandle Tree, discarding and then drawing. They're gonna activate their leader ability, adding the Teemo to their hand. You're gonna use the second part of their leader ability to hide the Teemo for 1 rune, as opposed to like exhausting it. Take my turn. I'm gonna attempt to gust their Traveling Merchant, just so that like we can like force them to use the Teemo. Yeah. Now that Teemo, since he was reacted with, he does have 4 might this turn. So I think I should just try and move into Zon Warrens. My opponent has no response. We're good. We're gonna go up to 1 point. Going to discard the Legion Rear Guard and draw from the Zon Warrens Conquer effect. Drew in a Void Seeker. I think I should just play more guys, right? Yeah. We played the Noxus Hopeful. Debating if I want to play the Adventurers on Warrens or not. I don't think blue purple has like much removal, so like I think it's fine to just leave him on the bench. And then I will hide a card. Am I leaving 2 up? Do I not have another 2-drop? It would be so good if I had another 2-drop here. Yeah, and I'll just pass with 2 Dawn. Or not 2 Dawn. 1 piece. I will just pass with 2 runes up. Now my opponent, since they held there, are at 2 points themselves. Decent amount of cards for them in hand. I'm just reading like their leader, their legend. It's my first time actually playing against the team. A lot of people like play it at the locals, but first time playing against it myself. I think he's a really cool legend. Ooh, my opponent, I think, stacked Dexter Mundo there. That Mundo card is a pretty nutty card. Okay, no, it was a Ravenbloom student. Okay. Now they're gonna rest 2, play Ravenbloom. Rest 1. And then attempt to hide something. Yeah, they use their hero power, their legend power. They hit their fight or flight onto the Bandle tree. Yeah, now I'm just getting like confirmation as to what the Teemo actually does. Then they'll pass with 2 up. Start my turn, gain my points. I think we drew a Vi there. Yeah, we're gonna start off by trying to Void Seeker the Teemo, force them to react. I'm not sure if I'm like, you know, supposed to be like forcing these reactions, but I think it's better like to do it now than to like have the combat tricks like impact me during combat. I started like debating to like gust. Yeah, so they're gonna flight or fight or fight or flight. And then yeah, they'll take the Teemo. They think the Teemo dies because like they don't know that like the Void Seeker will just fizzle on the damage. I still draw the card though. So we're gonna attempt to go Noxus Hopeful. I keep confusing the 2 guys. Is that Legion Rigard? No, that's Noxus Hopeful. That is Noxus Hopeful. And then we're gonna play Chemtech Enforcer, discarding the Vi. I think I have the 3-drop that revives in hand. That's why I don't mind discarding the Vi. I thought about moving the Poro back, but then I realized I'll like lose the hidden effect. So I cheat, and then I'm like, yeah, let me put the Poro back. Yeah, no, he asked me about this, so I was like, oh wait, you mind if I cheat real quick? I'll keep it back there. Shout out my opponent. Everyone's really nice at locals. This is a place to learn. Guys, remember, locals is a place to learn. Be kind to your opponents as they make mistakes. Even if it costs you the game, like give your opponent the do-over, or whatever, right? It's locals, man, and you got punished by it, you got punished by it. Like, locals is where you go to like learn and test, guys. Don't be that guy sharking at locals, please. Okay, so they're going to stupefy my Noxus Hopeful, reducing its might by 1. Ravenbloom gets a buff. They're gonna then play Consult the Past, drawing 2 cards. Their Ravenbloom is now at 4. I don't have a response, so I'll just let the Noxus Hopeful die. which Teemo are they using? So I think they're using the first part of Teemo, yeah, to add the Teemo back to hand. And they're gonna hide something. And I just remembered the bundle tree actually lets you hide more than one card there. Anyway, we're gonna get our point for holding. Start our turn. Jinx effect, draw a card, and then draw a card for turn. So now we ended up drawing the one of the new additions to our deck. I forget his name, but he's like the 5/5 that draws 2 when he dies. Like discard 2, draws 2. So we're gonna attempt to move the Chemtech Enforcer. He has Assault +2, so it's 4 might into the 2 might on the Raven Bloom. Meaning my opponent can't gust. They're gonna have to like react with whatever. So they react with the Teemo. I'm just gonna like crash into the Teemo, deal 4 to 4, just to get it out of rotation. It's kind of what I expected anyway. Now I'm going to play Sundisk, another new inclusion into the deck. This card just does so much work. And then Sundisk, we're gonna use the effect. Let me know if I'm cheating, guys, with like the Legion effect, but like I'm using like the Darius ruling with Sundisk, where it like counts itself as the card that's played this turn. I cheat a lot, guys, just because like I don't know. But let me know in the comments, guys, if I got that Sundisk rolling right. But like this is like the main synergy of like this week's like deck, right? It's like we get our Sundisk, and then we play our decent mighted guys, you know. So they're gonna rest 2 for a Traveling Merchant, rest another 2 for another Traveling Merchant. Oh wow. And then they just pass. All right, so I'm at 6, or actually I'm at 7 points now because I held 2. This Poro going uncontested is the MVP. He's been holding it down since like turn 2, I think. Now is where I just like need to just like dig in and hold, right? The Poro has Fight or Flight going for him. So I'm gonna play the Cemetery Attendant. I think I'm gonna grab the Chemtech Enforcer just so that I can like empty the hand a little bit and have more might. Discarding Flame Chompers. Yep. Oh, this is spicy. And then a Noctis Hopeful. Yeah, so I just put the plan is dig in, put a whole bunch of might on the board. I'm counting, I think I have 7, 10, 12. Plus 5, 17. I have 17 might on a battle tree, and normally you would think, you know, this wouldn't be enough for an opponent to get through, but we're gonna see something insane in a second. So they're gonna go doubling Traveling Merchant. They have to resolve the discard draw effect, so they discard the recall, draw. Then they discard another card, draw. I'm gonna trigger my Fight or Flight. Just gonna save my Poro. Let them have it, just so that I have more might on the bench. Then after conquering Zon Warriors, they're gonna discard Scrap Heap, draw a card from Zon Warriors, and then draw a card from discarding the Scrap Heap. Now they're counting cards in trash. I'm wondering why they're counting cards in trash. This is like my first time going up against what they're about to drop next. And I think the Traveling Merchants definitely helped them find what they needed to do to like help advance the game plan for what they're about to do. So they tap 8, they play Mundo. I'm looking at this card. This is my first time seeing this card played. You can see my cute self in the corner. Yeah. And I reminded him to recycle the runes. Yeah, he just wants to get the energy out. I respect it. They're going to rest 1. They're counting cards in trash. I don't remember how many cards in trash they have. But what Mundo says is that he gains +1 might for each card in trash. And then like at the start of your beginning phase, he has to recycle 3 cards from trash. My opponent then stupefies my undercover agent, reducing its might by 1. The power on my board goes from like 17 to 16. Yeah, and then Ride the Wind. Yeah, so I think they got Ride the Wind off of one of the traveling merchants. And yeah, the Mundo just being at like I think 18 to my 16 power, he just caps that. He just caps that. So now, because the undercover agent died, I drew 2 cards. Yeah, that's a big boy. And I'm just reminding my opponents to count the amount of points that they have. Yeah, no, that Mundo Ride the Wind card is really... Ride the Wind is a really strong card, huh? And then they pass with 1 rune active. So one downside of that undercover agent is that if I don't control him, or if I don't have any cards in hand, he kind of just stops me from getting value from my hero power, from my leader, my legend ability. Let's see. I think we drew like a Falling Star or Cleave, and we have something else. Really just trying to figure out what I can do with this hand. Is that a Vi? Okay, so I have a Vi in hand, and I also have Sundisk, meaning I don't need to ride. That's another like access about like having the Sundisk, right? Well, while Ride the Wind and Vi is like an insane game winning combo, just being able to have the Vi come in ready is really good as well. So I'm just trying to figure out A, how to get over this Mundo, and then B, how do I like hold to go to 8 points? Because Ride the Wind would just be a double, you know, it'll just be like, oh, play my Vi, recycle a bunch, kill the Mundo, you know, ride the Wind into the Mundo, and then gank into these on Warrens, and then GG's, right? But to no avail. Yeah, I think for a while here. Okay, so now we start with a Falling Star. We're going to deal 3 to Mundo and then remove a Traveling Merchant. Because I played the Falling Star, I can now use the Sundisk to ready the Vi. That's like the main reason like we played it. And then also like dealing damage to the Mundo. So we're gonna rest the Sundisk. Now the Vi comes in ready. Going to recycle a rune. Gonna rest another rune, give the Vi +3 with Cleave. And then that just adds another card to trash. And now we're gonna recycle a bunch of cards so that the Vi. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 cards we're recycling, so Vi is at 16 might with the Assault 3 for 19 total power. So now we're gonna try and go 19 into Dr. Mundo. And then their Mundo is gone. I'm at 7, so I draw. Whenever you conquer a point at 7, you draw a card. I'm thinking about whether to like stack this card. It's probably a 2-drop. And I'm thinking about whether to stack this and just like hold my might. Yeah, so we attempt to move into the Zone Warrens to crash. they gust our Poro back to hand, and I think we played a Poro onto Vi's spot. I'm also reminding my opponent to recycle a rune as well. Also, don't mind that my opponent's like recycling runes to the top of the rune deck. Once again, I think this is their first time playing paper, and they're doing really well. Mind you, they play like 3 different card games. They play like Yu-Gi-Oh! One Piece, and they might play Grand Archive as well. So like my opponent isn't like a stranger when it comes to card games. This is like their first Riftbound game. And I'm not trying to say I'm like the best player either ever, you know, like, oh, you know, my opponent's doing really well going against me, but like card gamers like usually translate their skills across pretty well. So yeah, my opponent has to do the impossible task of trying to get over 5 mites. They play Guerrilla Warfare, basically just taking 2 cards from the hidden. I also reminded my opponent to like recycling runes that got at the bottom. Yeah, so they take 2 cards from their hidden, from their trash actually. 2 cards with hidden from the trash, put them in the hand, and now they don't have to pay any cost to hide cards this turn. So I think they took a Teemo and a Fighter Flight. They actually could have removed my units off of the board, but they had like no units to play themselves. So like if my Vi and my Poro just live, I think there's a little bit more like back and forth in this game. But I do also just like have the Jinx in the back waiting to like help me double conquer. So like if they removed the Vi back to my hand, then I just like played it, and I just like maybe I draw a card, I have 3, play the Jinx, discard everything but the Vi, buff the Vi up to like 5, and go in again. Yeah, so they consult the past. And once again, like my opponent is making these plays under the assumption that like they have another turn, that I don't just win here. Fast, and I just tell him, yeah, it's game. He's like, what do you mean? You have to like hold. So yeah, I told my opponent basically it's just game. They didn't know that like you had like just holding from 7 to 8 was another way to win. But you know I said earlier don't shark your opponents or whatever, but like this is also how you learn as well. I know. Caught. I use my knowledge of the game to have an advantage over my opponent. Oh, cancel me. Oh, you know, hang me up by my toes or whatever. Caught. But on a serious note, you know, this is how you learn. And unfortunately, we had to do it to him, but it is what it is. And that's going to be our feature match for today, guys. I'm not going to lie, bro. We got cooked. Dog. Bro, that list, bro. I don't even remember what I played. All right, so you guys just saw the first matchup against Teemo, and we took it 2-1. The first game was really the opponent not knowing like the hold rule, pretty much that to get from 7 to 8 points, there are 2 conditions. You either hold 1 battlefield from 7 to 8, or you capture both battlefields from 6 to 8 to go, or from 7 to 8, right? They didn't know that, so they couldn't have like done anything. And then I checked his hand anyway. He wasn't able to like remove any of like enough of my units and try and capture at the same time as well. So I think it was still a win for me anyway. yeah, round 2 we played up against an Aurora Volibear. Same dude last week on Garen. He just decided to play the superior package in the superior like Aurora deck. So we just couldn't like aggro out both times. We went 0-2 against that matchup, and I just couldn't, like, there was a spot where I could have won one game had I like kept enough power, but I was a bit too conservative in my approach as to how I decided to like leave units and try and dig in and hold, because it's really hard to hold against an Aurora deck, right? Once they hit their points, you know, you gotta pray that they don't hit their $90 card and just like contest the battlefield for free. I even have like that card in my sideboard, the unlicensed provisions, I think, or acceptable losses to deal with it. And I did get it off one game, but it still kind of didn't matter since they just had a whole bunch of big bodies in hand. Aurora decks are pretty hard to deal with, and I don't think my list this week was favored enough to go into it. Third match up against Kaisa. It was the same Kaisa from last week that we took a game against. Still 1-2. You know, we were still able to get that one game out against Kaisa when we have Arena's Greatest. Not too much to say about it. I think in our last game we sort of like bricked as well. I genuinely think the list we took this week was not the bestest of lists that we could have taken, if I'm going to be honest with you, as well as the last game was kind of a similar pattern. We went 0-2 into another Kaisa. This was a different Kaisa player. I actually got time warped game 1, and game 2 I bricked, and I couldn't really play anything early. I didn't have my combos. So the identity of the deck right now, or at least for this week, was not super synergistic. I ended up bricking on some cards, and then some cards ended up hurting my strategy more than others. I won't say any names, but you know who you are. So I think next week I definitely have a better plan going to next week, but we also got to get some polls in. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, it's kind of hard to find some product. Hopefully I can get some product today so that I can open up some packs for next week so that we can, you know, boost our pulls and boost our deck. But I think we got some crazy trades that I'm not gonna spoil. You guys will see in next week's video. We got some crazy trades today that I think will buff the deck a lot, and I just need to figure out how I'm going to, you know, reinvent the strategy for like a 4th time. Maybe we don't need to change the list every week, but I think after next week's pulls and what we have from trades and the identity and the direction I want to go for, that might be the deck that we like lock in for a while if it tests well. But that's gonna be it from me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Please tune in again next week for more Riftbound on a budget.